Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to SNL. My name is David. I'm pastor here at Northridge Church. I'm in the building we call Colleen Finley Place, which is going to be the new home of SNL when we are allowed to start gathering. When you see Jessica leading worship, she's doing it on this stage. And so we've been practicing with the sound and working to get things ready for when we can be together as SNL again. And I'm excited about the vision that we've got for really taking this ministry, this service to the next level. We've got exciting times ahead, and I'm excited that you're going to be a part of it. I'm excited to be a part of it. And with that, you know what? We've been working through this parable series, and today I'm going to be bringing a parable from the book of Luke. And I don't have my glasses, so this could get really interesting. This is from Luke chapter 12. And this is the parable of the rich fool. And those two words are key. We know the guy that's being talked about, the example being given is that he's very wealthy, but that he's demonstrating foolishness. So I'm going to do my best to read these verses. This is Luke 12, verse 13 to 21. I'm going to read through the entire thing, and then we'll just teach through it. It says this. Some in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." Of all the inane things to come and bring to Jesus, he's like, "Hey, solve our conflict. We're arguing about who's getting what in the inheritance. Can you come and be the judge over us?" And Jesus says to him, "Man, who made me a judge or arbitrator over you?" And he said to them, "Take care and be on your guard against all covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions." I'm going to keep reading in a second. Jesus, first of all, is like, "Are you kidding me? This isn't my role to act as judge between the two of you and settle your silly money disputes." That's the first part. But he sees the root of the problem in this person who is complaining from the crowd. This guy who's like, "Hey, solve our problem." Jesus sees through the specific problem and identifies the greater problem. And he says, "Hey, be careful. Be on guard when it comes to greed." And he uses the word, well, I don't know what the word was in Arabic, but covetousness. This is the idea of being jealous or envying what other people have. Don't get sucked into that world. And then he goes on to give this parable, this example of why we should be careful. He said to them, I already read that part. I'll read it again. He said to them, "Take care, be on your guard against all covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions." That's not who you are, is your stuff. And here's where we get into the parable. And he told him a parable, saying, "The land of a rich man produced plentifully. And he thought to himself, well, what shall I do? For I have nowhere to store my crops." His farm is doing so well, he's running out of a place to store his crops, which was kind of the economy of the day. And he said, "I will do this. I'll tear down my barns and I'm going to build larger ones. And there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, be merry." But God says to him, "Fool, this night your soul is required of you, and the things you prepared, whose will they be? So is the one who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God." You guys, I don't know about you, but I can relate to this verse. Wholeheartedly, I can relate to this verse. And I think this is true for a lot of us. We like to have some money in the bank. And the temptation is to not just have some money in the bank, but when you get that much money in the bank, you want more. Because in theory, the more money you have saved up, the safer you are, the more secure you are. And that's really the heart of what this rich fool is demonstrating. He's been blessed. That's where the story starts. He's been blessed with this incredible harvest. He didn't expect the harvest to do this well. And like I said, this was kind of the economy of the day. If he's a farmer growing grain, if he's blessed with more grain, he's got more stuff. He's got more income. And he's like, oh, wow. Not only do I have what I need, I've got more than what I need. What am I going to do? How do I manage this? And his response was to tear down all of his old barns, build new huge barns, so he could store even more stuff. But then, even more telling was his response to all this stored stuff. He sat back, he's like, okay, now my soul can be at peace. I can eat, drink, and be merry because I have this confidence, this security that I've got all this grain stored up. It will last me for a super long time. Now I can be at peace. And Jesus goes on to paint a picture. It's like, okay, you've done all this, you rich fool. You've done all this to set yourself up to be secure. But what if tonight you're dead? What if tonight, that's the end of your life? Your days have been numbered and you get hit by a truck tonight. What if it's over tonight? What would the use of building these huge barns be? Who's going to get your grain? You can't take it with you. And you've put so much confidence into your income, into your so much security in your grain, and that's not going to help you when it comes to the eternal. It doesn't help you in your relationship with God. And when our life here on earth is done, it doesn't matter how much grain you've stored up. It doesn't matter how many zeros are in your bank account. What matters is our relationship, our rightness with God. And if you've put your security in money or grain, your income, if that's where your hope lies, if that's where you get peace, then you've looked for it somewhere other than with God. If your security is in stuff, then your security is not with God. And make no mistake, I wouldn't mind having a jet ski. I wouldn't mind having some nice things. The idea of being wealthy, and it's not a bad thing. But when your security comes from your money and your income and your savings, then that becomes your God. It's always awkward for a pastor to teach on tithing, because it sounds like a money grab. It sounds like, okay, you need to tithe so that the church can get richer. And make no mistake, there's a history of abuse in the church when it comes to finances, where we've taxed the people, not taxed people, we've demanded so much so we can build these opulent buildings and we can get this jewelry for the priest or whatever. There is a history of wrongdoing when it comes to tithe and giving. But the real purpose of the tithe is to reestablish right order when it comes to our trust and our security. When we are so fixated on our bank account, when we're saving so we can finally rest and have that security in our finances, we've made that our God. And so God set up a system. He says the first portion of your income, when you're blessed with a paycheck, when you harvest the grain, that first portion should be set aside for God. It should be set aside to give to God's kingdom, for His works. And it can sound like a greedy money grab, but the purpose is to bring us back into alignment with Him, to reestablish that He is our God, that He is where our security is. And when we do that, when we keep that, our financial life in order, when money isn't our God, when our security isn't in our finances, that's when we're in right relationship with God. And that relationship is what's going to matter at the end of this life. When it comes to eternity, if our security is in anything other than God, we're screwed. There's no better way to put it. We're screwed. And so that's why when it comes to the idea of tithing, it's not about blessing the church. You know what? God has blessed our church in ways I couldn't have asked for. I'm going to share a little something. Going into this time of COVID, I know it's hit businesses and even other churches really, really hard. But for whatever reason, God has chosen to bless us in this time. Every domino seems to fall in our favor right now. We have been blessed. And it's not that human beings have been giving more. It's God says, I've got something for you to do, church, and I'm going to equip you for it. God's going to be the one that cares for us. Our security is in Him. And so it's not a matter of giving you this preaching on giving so that you'll give more to our churches so that we'll be more financially healthy. It's so that you will be healthy. It's so that you won't get sucked into this role of the rich fool where we accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. And we sit back, we eat, we drink, and we are merry because we've got everything that we need in this earth. We should be concerned about the eternal. What happens after this? How can I grow in security with God? What do I need to do to develop that relationship, to strengthen that relationship? How do I avoid making money my God? And how do I demonstrate that God is my God? Again, I honestly didn't go into this message anticipating talking about tithing, but it's unavoidable. In this case, money is one of those things that just can get a hold of us. And I've seen it with guys from the house. They get out and they get a taste of getting a good job and earning. And now all of the things that were scattered all over the place before, they now have some security. They've got some stability. And that's good. The whole book of Proverbs talks about working hard and being rewarded for your hard work. But we can take it out of balance. When that becomes our security, when that becomes our God, when we get peace because of what we have in our bank account, we've gone too far. And that's the caution of this parable. Don't be like the rich fool who puts all the value in money. Be wise and invest in the kingdom. Invest in a relationship with God. You will not regret it. All right. It's great having been with you like this, but I'm really looking forward to the day when we can be together in person. We've set a date. September 12th is going to be the first official grand opening of SNL. We might do some things to prepare, and you might get to be in the building a little bit sooner. But we're really excited about September 12th when we're going to open our doors and run SNL in a way where we're going to have some worship on the screen and some teaching on the screen, but we can be together, be in the building, and have some time of fellowship. Look forward to that day. Until then, be safe, be blessed. I can't wait to see you again.